Hello there, welcome to the Mastercast, the monoblog podcast hosted by yourself, not yourself, myself, fuck's sakes. Oh, welcome to Mastercast, I'm keeping this in, fuck it. Welcome to the Mastercast, the monoblog podcast, hosted by yours truly, Master Dan. How's it going? I hope you are doing well. Hope you are having a sound weekend if you're listening to this on the Friday as this comes out. It would be available first thing on the Friday morning, but I decided to just record on the Friday morning and just get it out on the day. Hope that's alright with you. But yeah, usually I would do it the day before the podcast. But before the podcast release date, I'd do it on the Thursday, but what I did instead was stream on that Thursday for a few hours, finishing off Final Fantasy VII, which I'll get onto in a little bit. But anyways, I hope you're doing well, and it's good to do another episode. This is episode 14. Got some daft stuff to talk about, music related mainly, because there's a few releases and stuff, and a few announcements and that, and a couple of gaming shit as well. And I haven't really watched any movies as of recently. Usually, if you're new to this podcast, this is a monoblog. Well, you're probably saying, what the fuck's a monoblog? Usually, if someone talks by themselves on a podcast, it's because they're either lonely or it's called a monologue. But yeah, I've come up with the word monoblog, I think. I have to look that up. But yeah, monoblog. It's a podcast where I just ramble on about my week, and I'll probably talk about what's new in music and video games and movies or whatever. I mean, less so about the movies. I don't really watch a lot of them. But I don't think I have watched any movies, have I? No, I did watch one. I watched Elemental. Elemental. Yeah, that's it. That's what it's called, isn't it? On Disney. It was really good. It was really, really, really good. I hadn't seen it at the cinemas, so Haley suggested it. It's on Disney Plus. Watched it. Really, really good fun. It's sort of like it's like a clear sort of look into what immigration could be like, I guess. It's a family that are an element of fire. They're trying to blend in with, I guess, the real world, which is surrounded by lots of other elements, like earth and wind and water and all this sort of stuff. And, there's a fire family that's come to this big city filled with all of the elements. They've moved from their land of fire. And, they've made a shop and all that. And it's about, how they try to grow up in that scene. And obviously the main character in that, she's growing up trying to, get through life and hopefully own the shop. But it's not really what she wants. And she meets someone along the way who is not a fire element, who ends up, I won't spoil too much in case you haven't watched it, but it's really good. It's really, really good. I enjoyed it. Few emotional moments in there, as you would expect from a movie like that. Definitely. But yeah, it's great. It's really, really great. It's good fun. I love watching Pixar movies and stuff like that, even at the fucking old age of 31 that I am. I don't think you can be ever too old for that sort of shit, man. Toy Story is one of my favourite movies of all time. I can rewatch that forever and ever and ever for as long as I could live. But yeah, Elemental, really, really good. I'll recommend that one for sure. But yeah, there's been a few music stuff going on recently. I went to go see Angel Dust at a venue called World Headquarters in Newcastle, which is a venue I've not really been to a lot. I've been before. I went to see Death of Anna there. I think it was the back end of last year. For some reason, I'm guessing it's down to ticket sales. They were meant to play the NX in Newcastle, which is about 2,000 people, and it like literally the day before the gig happened, it got moved to the world headquarters, which probably only holds about a few hundred people. I mean, that's got to be the reason behind it, surely, because it never said why it was moving there. Like, to go from like a 2,000 cap venue to then a venue that's only a few hundred capacity. It wasn't even sold out beforehand either. Like, gotta be really, hasn't it? But anyways, like, this is the second time coming to this venue. It's quite a cool venue. I think it's more known for like drum and bass nights, raves, and like house, hip hop sort of nights, that sort of stuff. It's quite a cool venue. Very small stage. Like, it sounds decent enough. But it was interesting to go to like a hardcore gig in Newcastle, because I think it might be the first time I've been to a hardcore gig in the Toon. Even though I've been to Newcastle loads and loads of times for like many gigs, it's the first time I've been to a hardcore one up there. Because all the other ones I've been to have either been at Leeds or at Outbreak Fest or Manchester, maybe. Yeah, and yeah, it was really, really cool. There was a couple of support bands I saw. There was one called Afterburn from Newcastle. They were from Newcastle, and you know, they were pretty sound. They were pretty tight. More like the riffage was sort of like rocky rolly type hardcore, but like it was quite cool to hear like to see a hardcore band from Newcastle supporting Angel Dust. And there was TS Warspite, who were the main support, and they were from London, I'm guessing. Like, that's why the singer sounded like he was from. I couldn't really get a lot out of their set. Like, it sounds like a lot of hardcore I've heard before, like, you know, Meat and Potatoes, hardcore, and like the sound wasn't too great for them, so I couldn't get a lot out of it. But Angel Dust came on, and I friggin' love Angel Dust. I've not seen them since Outbreak 2018, and they've released a few albums ever since then. Like, the last time I saw them was on an album called Rock the Fuck On Forever, which is a mint album title. And like, I've loved all the albums afterwards. Like, all the albums afterwards sort of took like a different turn on genre. Like, the less hardcore, the more sort of kind of indie, but like hard indie. Like, it's indie music that goes hard as fuck. Like, with a hardcore frontman doing indie songs, some of them like acoustic guitar led, some of them are quite rockabilly, and some of them are just straight up punk. They're a great band. They're very, very diverse and like and varied, like with all their output. So I was looking forward to hearing some new stuff, really. But they were literally on for like half an hour, so like they missed a lot of like some of the previous albums that they've brought out, like of Pretty Buff. Like, I think they only played like one or two songs of Pretty Buff, which I absolutely love, and Yak as well. They played one off that, and they played a lot from their brand new album, which is called Brand New Soul, which is absolutely awesome. It's really grown on me. I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast yet, but Brand New Soul is absolutely awesome. So it's a really good mishmash of everything that they've sort of done over the years, like everything from like the more punky side from like their. Like, I discovered Angel Dust on their AD album, which is my favourite album by them, which is literally just 15 minutes of just punk, hardcore punk, like distorted, angry, really, really short songs, like literally about a minute and a half long songs. It's awesome. And like, yeah, they've sort of blended that with some of the more like just really, really cool, like indie, rockabilly stuff, dad rock bits and bobs. Like, they're just a really cool band. But yeah, they came on. They had a few technical difficulties with the guitar. Like, I think they've had to like drop a couple of songs just to get them issues sort of sorted out, really, because the technical difficulties did take a bit of time to get sorted. But like, when they played, they were awesome. Like, they were really tight as fuck. Like, Justice Tripp, the frontman, just looked so fucking cool. Like, vintage Ulysses sort of polo top tucked into his jeans with like a mullet and a cut fringe with like it sort of like sunglass, like these 80s sort of sunglasses, like almost like a punk version of Elton John, I guess. God, he probably won't appreciate me if I said that, but they were fucking brilliant though. Like, literally half an hour went by and they probably played about 15 songs, something like that. And they opened up with Toxic Boombox, like, which is off Rock the Fuck On Forever, like a really punky one. And the pit just fucking went mad. It was just like swings and like elbows were swinging all over the place, spin kicks were going all over. And when that song kicked off, I just fucking went for it. I just went straight to the front, like singing my heart out, and then they played. There's a song called Stepping Stone, which is off the AD album. A song that I absolutely love. And I was like right at the barrier, like fucking screaming, and he put the microphone in my mouth, and I was just like, and so the funny thing about that gig as well, it's been recorded by Daitan Films, who records all the Outbreak Festival videos. So there should be footage of me on YouTube at some point of a microphone being like stuck in my mouth of me going. So yeah, so that'll be funny. I've been knows a breakdown that happened on that song. Some dude started swinging his arms and started batting me. I was like, I'm getting out of here now. But yeah, Angel Dust were great. Just very, very fired up band. All the music was awesome. And to be fair, like I was expecting Justice to bring his acoustic guitar out because there's quite a lot of acoustic songs that they do on the later material. But to be honest, like all of the newer songs were just sort of like stripped back to like the punk roots. Really, they just played all the new stuff harder, which I was really, really fine with. It was awesome. It was a brilliant gig. I freaking love a hardcore gig. Me, it was awesome. So yeah, Angel Dust at Newcastle were great. I highly recommend their new album and Brand New Soul. Like, if you like punk and hardcore music, like especially a band like Turnstile. Like Turnstile are just one of the biggest bands going at the moment for hardcore. Like bringing in other genres of music and blending them seamlessly. Like Angel Dust are really good at doing that. So I really recommend their new album, Brand New Soul. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah, and also listen to the other albums as well. Like I said earlier on, like AD is my favorite Angel Dust album. I saw them on that tour. Like all the songs are like a minute. Some of them are less than a minute, about a minute and a half. And the album is done in like 15 minutes. Like it is so good. And Rock the Fuck On Forever is something sort of similar to that. And then after that, like with Pretty Buff, Yak, and Brand New Soul, that's when they start getting pretty experimental with other sounds and everything, and bringing like the sort of indie elements and stuff like that. And I'm not really a fan of indie music, to be honest. Like it was one of them. Like I tried to like them when I was younger. Like I tried to like that genre because it was really, really booming and everything, but I just could not get away with it at all. But like Angel Dust do it really fucking well. So yeah, Angel Dust. Also, I should point out, like Dust is spelled D-U, and the S is a $ and T. So it's Angel Dust. Yeah, dollar instead of an S. $. There you go. Yeah. What else has been happening with music recently? There's been a fair bit of news happening. Blink-182 are set to release their brand new album on October 20th. 17 songs. Fucking hell, man. 17 songs. I hope it's good. Because the first song that they released on their reunion, another reunion with Tom DeLonge. I forgot what it's called. The latest song. The first song they ever released for this new album. I couldn't really get into it. Like, it wasn't for me. Production wise, wasn't so great either. I could barely hear any guitars going on. It was weird. But they've released 2 new songs recently, and also announced their album. Like I say, it's coming out October 20th. 17 bloody songs. And there's 2 new songs. One of them called One More Time. It's more of an acoustic-y sort of soppy type song, really. The lyrics are very, very meaningful. It could be a tearjerker, definitely. I think the problem that lies with this song, is just the production. I think this song could have been done a bit more rawer and a bit more meaningful. What I mean is, for a song that is really, really, soft and acoustically and, really, really emotional lyrically, it's, the music video is actually quite good as well. They've got, they're basically stood in front of a green screen and, the background changes and it's, it goes back to, backgrounds of old music videos and stuff, from Rock Show and Down and Adam's Song and stuff like that, and Always, and it's quite meaningful. It's like a song about all the tragedies that they've all gone through shouldn't be an excuse for them to get back together as a band, which I like. But the vocal, the vocals just don't sound good at all. The vocals almost sound AI. They're very, very processed and compressed and, dare I say, auto-tuned. I feel like a song like that just needs to be stripped back of all that processing and just let some more raw emotion out. If they did that, I think they'd get a better song out of it. Although, the other song that they released, called More Than You Know, is a bit more me. It's a bit more me. I think this is the best song Blink have released in a while. Probably ever since fucking, Neighborhoods days. Because I couldn't get away with any of the albums I did with Matt Skiba. But this song, More Than You Know, it's heavy. It's great. It sounds like sort of self-titled Blink-182, which I love. And Tom DeLonge's vocal performance on it is really, really great. Very, very sort of lively and raw. And there's double bass in the fucking chorus. Travis Barker has dug out the fucking double bass pedal and went. I'm like, holy shit! This song is actually really, really good. It's heavy and it's great. It sort of reminds me of Obvious or Stockholm Syndrome, from the self-titled album. It's a great song. So yeah, the new Blink-182 album comes out October 20th. I hope it's really good. Because, there are bits of it, More Than You Know, I think is a good song. I think it's really good. One More Time could be a better song. The first song, I'm really sorry, I forgot what it's called. I forgot what it's called. It's Edging, that's the one. Edging. I couldn't get away with it. Yeah, but it's probably, I imagine it to be an album of a few surprises, and a few sort of duds. But I hope I'm wrong. But that's what I'm expecting. But I do hope I am wrong. And yeah, I love Blink-182. I wish I got bloody tickets to see them as well. If they weren't bloody 100, I'd quit a ticket. Whatever. Anyways, that's enough about Blink-182. I want to talk about Bruce Dickinson as well. So, Bruce Dickinson, vocalist of Iron Maiden. For those who don't know, I'm sure you're aware of Iron Maiden, obviously. But Bruce Dickinson had a solo career, right? And he's released some fucking amazing albums as a solo artist, if you've never heard any of his solo albums, I highly recommend listening to Accident of Birth, Chemical Wedding, and, of course, the latest one, Tyranny of Souls, but definitely Chemical Wedding. That's a fucking brilliant album. Some of this solo stuff is heavy. It's way heavier than Maiden. It's got some fucking riffs on it. Adrian Smith is on a couple of albums as well, and he brings his riffage to it. Who's my favourite guitar player of Iron Maiden. But, the last few albums he's done, he's produced with a geezer called Roy Z, who I don't really know a lot of, to be honest. I know he's produced an album with Rob Alford, and he's done the same with Bruce Dickinson, and he's good at bringing the heavy out of Bruce Dickinson, and he's doing the same now with the latest album that has just been announced. First album in nearly 2 decades called The Mandrake Project. And not a flattering album cover, I assure you. It looks like it's literally just Bruce Dickinson stood outside what looks like a crypt or something like that, with a blue light shining behind him. He just sort of stood there looking into a distance. He almost looks like Flash Gordon, but he's wearing all black. He's got like his long grey hair like floating behind him. And yeah, the Mandrake Project. There's no release date. It just says to be released early 2024. And he's announced dates. And I've always wanted to see Bruce Dickinson live as a solo artist. He's announced dates, but they're all friggin' Brazil and Mexico. Like, come on! I want a tour over here. I'm not going to travel all the way over there. But honestly, when they do announce a tour, in the UK, I don't care where it's at, I'm going, because I absolutely love some of his solo stuff. I do hope this, like I said about Blink, I do hope that this Bruce Dickinson album is a fucking ripper. I really hope it absolutely rips, because I love the last few Bruce Dickinson albums. I don't tend to go back to the 90s era Bruce Dickinson because it's a bit up and down. Like his debut solo album's quite good, Tattooed Millionaire, which is more sort of slacker rock and roll sort of stuff. Balls to Picasso isn't good. That's a pants album. I think he sort of stated that as well in his book. And Skunk Works, which I quite dig, to be fair. I quite like Skunk Works. That gets a lot of bad rep from people, but I like it. It sounds like Bruce Dickinson trying to do like 90s Foo Fighters or something like that. It's really cool. I quite like it. But yeah, Bruce Dickinson is back with a new solo album, which is good to hear. I hope it's really good, and I hope that he does some UK live dates. This might cancel Iron Maiden out of download, because that's where a few rumours are leading. Because the Mandrake Project tour is going from April to May, and he might extend that towards the States and like the UK or whatever. He might even do his solo thing at download. You just never know, do you? But I hope it's really, really good. I hope it's awesome. It's going to be interesting. Well, I'll report more on the new album and tour as it gets announced. Like release dates and stuff like that, and UK dates. Well, who knows? We will see. Don Brokaw have a new song out as well. If you don't know who Don Brokaw are, one of the most unique bands that come out of the UK. They've got a new song out called Birthday Party. And the video is damn right fucking disturbing. But it's great. Like, I don't know how to describe this song, because I don't know how to describe most of the songs. They're like an alt rock band that use bits of like 80s influenced synth and like techno and stuff like that, and bits of new metal as well. Birthday Party is just a bit of that, and every time they release something, it always sounds different. They're fucking brilliant. And they've also announced their most recent live album as well, as coming out on CD and vinyl. And yeah, that would be really, really good. It was recorded at Royal Albert Hall in London with an orchestra. And some of the videos that they've released of some of the tracks they did then, like, were absolutely amazing. Like Further in particular, and Gum Shield, like played with an orchestra, sounds incredible. So I think I'm gonna get that. But yeah, one more thing I want to touch on, music wise, is the new album from Baroness. I've been listening to this to death. This album came out on Friday. Baroness, if you don't know, they've been going probably ever since 2003 from Georgia, and they've had a lot of albums come out. They're all sort of color related, if you will. So their first album, the Red album, came out in 2007. Then there was the Blue album in 2009. There's an album called Yellow and Green, which came out in 2012, and Purple 2015. And the last of their color coordinated albums is an album called Gold and Grey, which came out in 2019. And now this is the first album that they've gone and not made it color related or anything. This is an album called Stone. Baroness are absolutely brilliant. They're fucking awesome. They're very sort of mastodon-y, very stoner rock based like sort of stuff with bits of prog all over, and they're absolutely amazing. I love Baroness. I've seen them live a couple of times. I've seen them play in the Stylus at Leeds on the Purple tour, and I've also seen them play Second Stage Download, and they should be one of the biggest bands ever, honestly. I think they might be a lot bigger in the US, but over here, I don't think a lot of people have got them, really. Because, I mean, like, they played the Stylus in Leeds. I don't think they sold it out. I'm pretty sure it was one of those gigs where like I just bought a ticket, like, the day of the gig. And, like, you know, there was enough people there. Like, I wouldn't say it was packed, though. And they played Second Stage at Download, and it was so sparse. I believe... What year Download was this? I think it might have been 2017? I think it might be 2017. I can't remember. But yeah, it was just so sparse. So sparse. And they're such a fucking brilliant band, and all of their albums that they've brought out have been brilliant, and no exception to this one, Stone. And yeah, I've listened to this album absolutely non-stop throughout the week, ever since it came out on Friday last week. They included a new member to the band a few years ago called Gina Gleason, who was also a guitar player and backing vocalist. And her backing vocals grouped with John Baisley, the lead vocalist and also guitar player, are just absolutely beautiful throughout this album. Like, this album isn't too heavy at all, right? It's very sort of Mastodon influenced with bits of Pink Floyd, but it's no way, you know, there's no screamy vocals or anything like that. There's a bit of yelling on one track, which I'll get to, but that's about it. So album opens with an acoustic title called Embers, and it's very sort of slow, very harmonic, just like the vocal interplay between John Baisley and Gina Gleason, just absolutely beautiful. Kicks into a song called Last Word, which is the single from this album. Just drop B, really girthy sort of guitar sounds and fuzzy as fuck. And the guitar solo in this song in particular is mind-blowing. Like, Gina Gleason is such an incredible guitar player. She can fucking shred on this song. Like, it's all like that sort of very like sort of hybrid picking, that sort of stuff that you do with when you play guitar with a guitar pick and your fingers at the same time. That's something that I try to do, but I'm shit at. But yeah, it's brilliant. And just the track after is my favorite track on the album of all time. It's amazing. Beneath the Rose is absolutely stellar. I love John Baisley's like vocal interplay on this. Like, it's very sort of slacker, sort of like the verses are sort of like really I don't know how to sort of explain it really. It's very sort of like nonsensical, like sort of non-caring sounding, but until he gets to like the chorus is absolutely huge. Burn beneath the rose. And like the chorus is absolutely to die for. There's a dual guitar solo between John and Gina Gleason, and oh god, it's absolutely to die for. And yeah, it's like the riffing is very sort of Queens of Stone Age, like very dirty, very fuzzy, and it's just fucking brilliant, man. It's brilliant, and it also blends into another track called Choir, and it kind of reminds me of Pink Floyd a little bit in a way of like if you know like the Dark Side of the Moon album, like how the first track Breathe goes into On the Run. So Beneath the Rose is like Breathe, and Choir, which is the track after, is a bit like they're On the Run. It's a track that sort of continues in that same key as the previous song, and like brings in all like the throbbing synths in and all that sort of stuff, and a bit of spoken word by John Baisley, and the there's like these really echoey distorted drums that go on. Like it's quite trippy, very sort of jammy sounding, and yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely awesome, and like this album just throughout, it brings back that first like acoustic track. It brings it back in like with the dirge, and it also ends as a full track at the end called Bloom. Like it's just this beautiful acoustic song between Gina and John, just amazing. Magnolia and Shine, both massive, really really moody, heavy, Mastodon inspired riffs, and it's just this is an album that like I could just like really just sort of like, I'm gonna get the record of this, no doubt, and just like sit there with the record on, read the lyrics type thing, and like look at the artwork, because that's another thing about Baroness. John Baisley creates all the artwork for all the albums, and the artwork just looks awesome. It looks really really great. Some beautiful beautiful paintings, and like I'd love to just like sit there and look at all the artwork and ogle at it. It's great, and yeah. I really, really recommend this album. It's one of the best albums I've talked about so far on this podcast, I think. Like, it's amazing. If you like Pink Floyd, Mastodon, Queens of Stone Age, fuzzy guitar riffs, bits of prog, bits of synth stuff, with some amazing guitar solos, absolutely amazing guitar solos, give this album a go. It's called Stone. It's by the band Baroness. Ah, what a fucking band. Honestly, this should be one of the biggest bands ever at the moment. Like, there should be like I feel like they should be just playing like Brixton Academy or something, like them size of venues in the UK. Like, it would be amazing if they do that. Like, if you're not in the Discord, like, I'll post the like the link to the album in the music page. But yeah, it's a brilliant, brilliant album. So there we go. Yeah. What else to talk about on the old podcast? Oh yeah, I'll finish up with one thing. So yesterday I finally finished Final Fantasy VII, the OG Final Fantasy VII from the PlayStation 1 on stream. It was the final disc. It was disc 3, the final fight against Sephiroth, and this game has just blown me away, to be honest. Like, this is one of the best games I've ever played. Like, this could be potentially top 5 games I've ever played. It's mad that a game from 1997 has just held up like this. Like the whole, like, the story is absolutely incredible, this game. And everything about this game. Like, I put about 37 hours into it. No, 38 hours into the game in total. Ever since I started streaming it. Like, I streamed it for a long bloody time as well. It was just getting time to do the streams and everything. But the actual streaming time, the gameplay time, it took me about 38 hours to finish this game. As someone who's never played Final Fantasy in full before, like, that's how long it took, and I'm happy with that. The game itself, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. It's beautiful. It's incredible. The story is amazing. And for a game that went on for 38 hours from 1997, it did not dip one bit. It didn't dip. Like, there wasn't a point where I was thinking, getting a bit bored of this. Like, even like all of the random turn-based battles that will pop up every now and then, like, as you're exploring, like, I didn't find that boring at all because it was a chance for me to, like level up all my characters and everything and just get better. Like the battles were interesting enough and just everything about it. All the characters that you have, the character development is amazing. All the other, even all the baddies that you meet, like there's a lot of humor in there as well. The graphics are beautiful, even from 1997, just absolutely stunning, as well as all the rendered backgrounds and everything, and all the cutscenes. And like, as I was watching everything going on, like with the story and everything else, and everywhere like it went to, like, I was just thinking, I really wish I picked this game up in 1997 for the first time as it come out, and just experienced it all for the first time. I mean, it's really cool, like, experiencing it now, as someone who's 31 in 2023, like, playing this game for the first time. Like, it still looks great, but imagine playing that in 1997 when, like, that is the PlayStation 1, like, at its peak. I always say, like, Metal Gear Solid was way ahead of its time back then, and I still mean that as well. And I feel like that with Final Fantasy VII. I feel like that game was way ahead of itself. Like, it's an unbelievable game. Like, very emotional storyline, incredible. Like, some of the deaths that happen that aren't expected really do, like, catch you off guard and everything. Like, the whole build up to, like, fights, and the music is one of the best parts of this game. Like, it's incredibly composed, like, and so memorable, and sticks with you, and like, it helps build up the tension, like, especially like when you when you have your what's the fucking word? Especially when you see Sephiroth. Yeah, especially like when you see Sephiroth every now and then, like, and that music comes in, that really haunting, menacing music. That's really builds up and just brings, like, real terror, and like, it's amazing. Like, how mad is it that a game, like, it's 26 years old? How mad is it that a game that is 26 years old has just come into my life and just floored me? It's mad, isn't it? I'm gonna play this game again, like, soon. Like, not on stream. No, not on stream. But I am going to play it again. But before I do that, I'm gonna play the remake for the PS5 because I've heard good things about the remake. Because if the PlayStation 1 game is anything to go by, I think we're gonna have a good time with the remake. So yeah, I'm probably gonna watch the Rebirth trailer now as well, since I know what happens in the game now and everything. But yeah, what an incredible game! If you haven't played Final Fantasy VII, what are you doing? I mean, that's what a lot of people said to me. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Play Final Fantasy VII, play it. And I've finally played it now, and I get why. I get the hype. It's amazing. You can actually play, like, the OG one on the Switch and on Steam, PlayStation 5, and all that sort of stuff. Like, I think if you're on Premium, yeah, that's right. If you're on Premium, you can get it for free on PlayStation. And, like, on the Switch and stuff like that, and on Steam, it's not a lot. It's under a tenner. If you really want to have a go at this game and, like, really get sucked into it and transport yourself back to 1997, I highly recommend it. I don't know, I can't really say anything for the remakes. I've never played it, but I'm gonna give it a go, definitely. So yeah, it's great to finally put that game to bed. Like, in terms of streaming, so I can finally tell you what the next game's gonna be. I know that it's definitely not gonna be another Final Fantasy VII or role-playing game or anything that is long as fuck, because I've got one ready for when spooky season arrives. So as I record, this is the 22nd now of September. So about a week and a half, it'll be October, and I've decided to go for the original Silent Hill for the PlayStation 1. So I've streamed Silent Hill before. I've streamed Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4 on Twitch. but I've never done the first one. Nor have I ever finished the first one. I just never got round to doing it. I think it's just because I was so sucked in with Silent Hill 2 being the best of the lot that I just never bothered with the first one. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Sorry, I just yawned. Very, very rude of me. But yeah, the next game that I will stream will be Silent Hill, which will be in October. Let me just have a look at my calendar when I'm going to stream it. No, not December, you idiot. October. There we go. Right. So, kind of want to do it on a nighttime. Good old nighttime stream. I'm going to do it. Thursday night. 5th of October. 5th of October. It'll be a while till I do it. But, you know, I want to do it in the night. Make it spooky and all that. And, yeah, it'll be fun. Silent Hill. The OG Silent Hill from the PlayStation 1. I think it was 1999 it came out. I think. Let me just check that for you. Anyways. How much time have I recorded this podcast? 41, 45? That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Yeah, hang on. Let me just check when Silent Hill came out. It came out. Oh no, not the movie. Yes, I was right. 1999. The first Silent Hill video game for the PlayStation 1. Looking forward to it. Let's get our spook on. October. Halloween, baby. And I've got another plan for something else to stream in October, so keep your eyes and ears open for that. Eyes and ears open? Yeah, fuck it. Eyes and ears open. Keep them open for that. And yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for listening to the Mastercast and hear me babble on about a lot of music and Silent Hill and Elementals? Or was it Elemental? I can't remember if it was plural or not. Idiot! But yeah. I'll see you next Friday, the next podcast. And I will see you on October the 5th for the Silent Hill stream if you fancy that. All the links to socials and all that are in the description of the podcast. If you enjoy the podcast, if you're new, thanks for coming on in and listen to me babble on a lot. And if you want to listen to some more, don't forget to follow and like all your podcast platforms, including YouTube as well. Give that a like and give the channel a subscribe. Also got a Discord in there, so if you want to be part of the Discord and chat a load of babbling crap with me and a bunch of lovely like-minded people and share some stuff, it'd be really, really awesome to have you in there. So yeah, also like if you want to submit questions and stuff like that for the podcast, you are more than welcome to do that. I did try to get some questions in, but no one responded because I'm a piece of shit and no one cares about me. It's not really that, really, but it probably is. Shut up, Danny. Anyways, thank you very much for listening to the Mastercast as hosted by yours truly, Master Dan, the monoblog podcast. Hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you next week for episode 15. 15? That's fucking mad. Yeah, I'll see you later. Bye!